How do you get the thing that you want? And how do you go from point A to B as fast as possible? And most people love to overcomplicate this topic. But in this video, I want to go over a few of the basics that you need and also the thing that most people are missing in this process to get the thing that they want. So if we would start with the most obvious question, what do you want? What do you even want in the first place? Because to get the thing that you want, you need to get clear on what this thing is. And this is personal development 101. But it's important to remember that common sense isn't common practice. Most people are looking for that fancy new thing within personal development. But the thing that is actually going to give them results is practicing and mastering the basics. It's consistently getting clear on the thing that they want and be connected to this thing. So if you look at your goals and your vision, is it clear? Is it crystal clear what you want? When I talk to people within personal development about their goals and their vision, and these are usually people that are in this space for at least a decade, and they share with me often that they want to create financial freedom in life. And then they start to use all these vague terms as in, I want to experience abundance, and I want to change the world, and I want to be location free, and all of these things. But when I ask them the question, what does this all even mean? What does it mean to be financially free? Which number do you need in the bank account? Or what kind of income do you need to have consistently? And why did you even choose this number in the first place? How do you know that you're financially free? And what is the vehicle that you're using to create this number and this freedom? And then they don't know. They don't have a clear answer to this question. So it's very good that they even have some kind of feeling and vision of the thing that you want, or that they want to be moving towards, but you want to get very specific on what this thing is. What is the exact number that you're after? What is the exact vehicle that you're going to be using to achieve that number when it comes to finances? But this is applying to any goal in your life. So when it comes to this question, what do you want? Specificity is key, but only defining the thing that you want is not going to get you the thing that you want. This is just to give some direction. But by getting clear, honestly, about this thing, you will get ahead of most people already. Because most people are not taking the time to even create this clarity in the first place. So this is one of the first parts of the basics. If we look at the second thing, is simply getting clear on what does this process look like to get the thing that I want. So when you're clear on the direction, what are the steps? What is this process even? So what I love to look at is beginning with the end in mind. So that's why we started with the thing of getting clear on getting what you want. And now you can work backwards, because once the end is clear, you can just look at the steps that will get you to this point. When I'm looking at creating a plan, I always keep in mind that I want to prioritize and keep things as simple as possible. So it's always, for me, applying the 80-20 rule. 20% of the actions will give me 80% of the results. And it's your job to figure out what these 20% actions are, because this is where you want to spend most of your attention, focus, and time on. And once that is clear, then it's just a matter of taking action in alignment with all of these points. So when it comes to getting clear on the process, it's prioritization and simplicity, and of course, getting specific as well. And this is all that you need to get the thing that you want. What is the goal? What input is going to give me the desired output? And do that thing. And if you want to get really fancy with this, you can also create a system around this. What does it look like on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis when you take action consistently on these habits and projects that you're working on to get the output that you desire? And then how do you reevaluate? How do you measure? How do you adjust if necessary? And these are all the points that you need. But still, for some people and for most people, something is missing. So you have the basics and the fundamentals in place. You have clear what you want. The steps are clear towards the goal. You have your prioritization. You have your system created to achieve this thing. But the thing that most people are missing is the identity part. Is the place that they're taking action from. So on paper, things can look perfect. You can do exactly the things that you're supposed to be doing. And why are you not getting results? This is a question that I often get. And the thing that most people are missing is it's not about the action, it's about the place that you're taking action from. So for some people, they call this identity, but for me, it's like the place that you're taking action from. Who are you being? What kind of essence is taking this action? What kind of identity is doing all these things? Because this will either increase the likelihood of you achieving the goal or it will decrease it. So to make it more specific, because this can sound pretty vague, I can give you, for example, a compliment. And I can give you a compliment because I genuinely like something about you. But I can also give this exact same compliment from a place of manipulation because I want to manipulate you in any kind of way. It's on paper the exact same thing, but it will feel different to you because the place that I'm doing it from is different. So this is just to create a picture and some understanding of what I mean by it's all about the place you're doing the action from. And if we're looking at the place that most people take action from, it's from a needy place. They are so attached to the outcome. They don't just want the outcome, they need the outcome. So if we apply this to dating, for example, you can do everything correct on paper and you asked the girl out on a date, you maybe ask for a number, but it's coming from this place of, I need to have this number. I need her to like me. I need her to go on a date with me. And women will feel this. They will be repelled by this energy. So you're doing everything correctly on paper, but you're not going on dates. You're not getting any numbers. And if we would apply this concept to business, it's if you're talking to a prospect in front of you and you need to have this sale because otherwise you're not able to pay rent the next month. So you're coming off this needy energy. Again, you're following the script. You're doing everything perfect on paper, but you're not getting the sales. So it's all about the energy that you're doing it from. And the thing that I've realized, for example, with my dating is when I got out of a long-term relationship and I started dating again, I was coming from this needy energy and I was not getting any results with women. But the moment I shifted this from not caring if I would get a number, if I would go on a date, the yes and the no had equal value to me. And this is often where I don't care about the outcome. Yes, I'm still going going for the thing that I want, but I'm detached from what happens because it doesn't change anything about me. It won't change anything in my life. The moment I came from this careless place or not giving a fuck place, that was the moment I started to get results. And you can also see this with the most powerful salespeople. They are not worried about getting the sale or not. They don't need the sale. So this non-neediness and this what I call detachment will get you in a very powerful place where you don't need the outcome. Of course, you're going for it, but you don't need it. So I also want to go over how you can make this shift because most people take action based on their current self or even based on their old version of themselves. So they are taking action from this place of scarcity and lack and sometimes even survival. And that's why they experience so much pressure and so much tension. And that's why they're not getting any results. And that's why it's hard to keep the consistency. So I just want to go over a few points in how you can shift and tap into this different identity to take action from a different place. And one of the questions that I, for example, explored myself is, what does it feel like if I already have the results? What does this experience feel like? So if we apply it to finances, to building your business, what does it feel like if I already have all the clients that I want? If I already have a full coaching practice? If I maybe have one spot available? If I already have an abundance in this place and I'm talking to a new prospect, what would it feel like if I don't need this sale? If I don't need them to become a client? What does it feel like if the yes is as equal of value as the no? And when you tap into this energy, you start to see that you can create differently. And it's similar to dating. What if you already have women in your life that are messaging you? Maybe you already are dating women and you see a beautiful girl walking down the street. You say hi, you want to ask her out on a date, but it doesn't really matter if she says yes or no. Of course, you're curious to explore this possibility, But at the same time, you know, like, well, I already have women in my life and I don't need her. What does that feeling, that detachment, what does that feel like? And this is why visualization is so powerful, because you can play tricks on your mind. When you start visualizing and imagining this, you already tap into the feeling that you want to experience. So you don't need to have an outcome to become a version of you. It's the other way around. You become something first and then you start creating the outcome. And I think this is key in the whole process. Realizing that is a process of becoming, not a process of getting somewhere and then you become. Because I believe you become first and reality catches up on you. And this is what you do by tapping into these feelings and visualizing what it feels like when you have that outcome. Because by being able to tap into these feelings, it means that you don't need these outcomes to feel these things. And when you feel these things, you can start taking action and play tricks on the mind from this place of abundance or from this place of freedom. Because you start to operate differently in this world when you experience this feeling. And I think one of the most powerful ways, the second way that I want to share with you to shift your identity, is by asking the question, what would, and you can fill in the blanks, do, think, or feel. So you might have a role model in mind, someone that you look up to, a mentor, someone that already has the thing that you want to have. And what would that person do in your situation? How would they think? What would they feel? Why do they think this way? Why do they believe the things that they believe in? What kind of actions are they taking? So you stop processing life from, let's say, the scarcity lack version of yourself, the old version of yourself, and you start to process life and your situation and your goals through the eyes of someone that already has it. And let's say you experience a problem in the process towards your goal, and you ask this question: what would that person do right now to solve this problem? How would they think about this? And this is how you start to access also your own potential. And all of these things that you access while exploring, while asking this question, and while exploring this answer, this is you becoming. This is you becoming that version. Every time you feel into it, every time you start to think that way, every time you take action in alignment, is you becoming that version and cultivating that identity from within. And this is a practice. You have to consistently do this to become the person. And like I said, reality catches up on you. So you can have all the basics down, but the most important part that you need to focus on is, what is the place that I'm taking action from? So first, am I doing it from a needy place, or am I doing it from a detached place? Am I taking action from the old version of myself, or from the highest potential version, of the version that I actually want to become? And when you start to feel differently, when you start to process life differently through the eyes of your highest potential, of that version, the best version of you, the results will come. That's how you go faster from point A to B. It's almost, this identity part is fuel for the basics that you already set in place. So I hope this was helpful to get the thing that you want. And I'm curious what you think of it. Leave, of course, a comment below if you have any thoughts on this, and I'll see you in the next video.